Hello, all fellow theater artist type young people and those who are here to support those courageous and worthy life fulfilling and lifelong endeavors. Welcome to the Department of Theater. I'm the chair of the theater department, Anthony Guest. We are going to share with you just a little bit, just a little sliver of what it means to be part of our theater family. We will talk about the now, and we will also talk about the future. One way in which we have met the challenges of the now was recognizing that if we can't go to the biz, then let's bring the biz to us.
Of just acknowledging that this is bizarre.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping out if you slip away. Oh, I got nothing to share. Oh, I got nothing to say.
And I want to see you slipping in
Step
that.
out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, well,
What are they saying to you just with their eyes?
Oh my God, that's everything so great.
Waving through a window, I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me?
There needs to be thunder.
And just know that every movement that you do on stage is
We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong. But every sun doesn't rise. And no one tells you where you went wrong. You step out of the
I'm going to
sun.
take what you just said and respond to it, even though you actually didn't really say anything.
Memory of how it felt to say what you're going to say. Like, that's good juju. That's good acting juice. Yeah.
On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. Waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. Waiting through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving?
You have such a great handle on this. Great handle on it.
I love that you got to smile the whole first verse, because that's also what we do as humans in thrilling. I felt like a musical theater scene I haven't seen. Here I am, going through this, to hell with this.
And there's nobody around. You ever really crash on it and make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around. Do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Did I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. Waiting through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. Waiting through a window.
Let the music
Can
consume
anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving?
everyone on here just learned so much.
So a huge thank you to Professor Josh Young, coordinator of the musical theater program, for organizing this masterclass series, what you saw was a series of professionals who came to OU via Zoom for a summer-long masterclass program. And this masterclass program is one of the ways in which we continue our learning at OU, because we connect our students, we continue to connect our students with our faculty connections in the profession, which happen on Friday afternoons. And as prospective students, we might just be interested in having you join us. Before we move on to some performances and introduce you to some of our faculty and our programs, I just want to give you some nuts and bolts of our department. So if you haven't already, grab a little piece of paper or a pencil or your phone, and we'll chat. Under normal circumstances, even on circumstances today, we still have 5 main stage productions, 2 of which are plays and 2 are musicals. We also have a children's show that tours to local schools in the springtime for our summer 1 session. And that can be a musical or a play. It depends on the year and who's directing and what's going on at that time. We offer 4 degrees. We have 3 BFAs, 1 in musical theater, 1 in acting, and 1 in theater technology, design and technology. We also have a BA program, which is a focus on the liberal arts of theater. The BFAs are pre-professional degrees, which our goal to you is when you finish your time here, that you are ready to jump into the profession, jump into any theater market that interests you, and you are ready to go with headshots, resumes, confidence, and all the goods. So those are our goals. One really important part of the theater department, we are the only university in the state of Michigan. And I say university, there is 1 college, but we are the only university in Michigan that is a member of the National Association of Schools of Theater, NAST. We are accredited by them. So they have national standards for theaters to follow. And we are the only university, aside from another college. So we're one of 2 higher education organizations that are NAST accredited. Our audition dates, write this down. Our audition dates are January 23rd, February 13th, and March 6th. January 23rd, February 13th, and March 6th. We plan on doing these just as we always have done them, just over Zoom. So they're going to be live, and more information will come as we get closer to those dates. So we want to interact with you. We want you to come present your pieces and chat with us. So departmental, you have to audition for one of those dates, at one of those dates, to be considered for a departmental scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship. So the biggest question that we're always asked is, what makes Oakland different from other universities that you might be looking at? And every time I just had a student come by and gave a tour, and she asked that same question. And I simply say, it's our faculty and it's our students. The faculty are the workhorses, the work engines, especially this year. I have to say how in awe I am and how proud I am of the work that we've done in order to keep everyone buoyant. And there have some students who've decided to take a break, but not many at all. And their decisions were more based on reasons, either financially or based on their personal situation. But for us, we're continuing strong, and we are about 115 strong. And our students are the most courageous and bright, talented, and hardworking students that I have ever been part of in my career as 25 years teaching. They show up, they work hard, and even in now, the amount of work that they're doing to keep our work alive is astounding. And those are the kind of students that we're looking for, and I'm sure many of you are that student. So with that, we're going to introduce more faculty and more students, a few performances, and we're going to introduce some of our programs. So next, I would like to first introduce Jay Carrero. She is an acting major in her senior year at OU, and she is going to be performing a monologue from The Seagull.
I understand finally that in our business, acting, writing makes no difference. The main thing isn't being famous. It's not the sound of the applause. It's not what I dreamed it was. All it is the strength to keep going, no matter what happens. You bear your cross, I believe. And it helps. Now, when I think of my vocation, I'm not afraid of life. I better go. When I become a great actress, come watch me act. Won't you? Promise? All right. My name is Jay Carrero. As you guys have been told, I am a senior acting major. Um, I will be talking about a professional performance course, and so basically, what that is, it's a course that prepares us for the outside world when we graduate. We talk about websites. We talk about what's the right look as far as headshots are concerned. We do different workshops with casting directors and all kinds of people. I personally really, really enjoy that course because of the fact that it feels like it's really preparing me personally. I want to be a film actress, and so this course definitely gets me. Like it's like a step ahead, you know what I'm saying? It gets me prepared for that. We had a workshop, I believe Monday, about voiceovers. And so that was very helpful for me because I want to go into that as well. And so I just think that as far as this course is concerned, I feel like I will definitely be prepared when I do graduate in 2021. So now I will introduce the Associate Director of SMTD, Carol Knox.
Thank you, Jay. Hi there. I'm here to talk about the school and about the design and technology program that we have, one of the 3 BFAs that Tony pointed out. There's several of us in the program. I'm going to introduce a couple of them, and you're going to have a chance to say hi, and they'll talk about their programs.
We are really proud of what we do in theater design and technology. Our work is to support the performers. I think that most of you probably are performers, but for those of you who are designers, we firmly believe that the best laboratory for the work that you are trying to do is the stage, and we prioritize giving our design students the opportunity to design main stage productions so that when you graduate from Oakland University, you haven't just done coursework, you haven't just listened to us talking to you about the work and practiced at your desk or on your computer. You've practiced in the real world environment of the theater, not just once, but a number of times. And so you can take that professional experience or that pre-professional experience with you into interviews and into your first career opportunities.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. I want to take the time and introduce for the first time visiting professor of costume design, Whitney Locker. Take it away, Whitney.
Hello, prospective students, and thank you, Caro, for the introduction. As Caro said, I'm Whitney Locher, and I'm the visiting assistant professor of costume design here at OU. I'm a working costume designer with over 15 years worth of credits in New York, as well as regional theaters across the US. I've designed costumes for award-winning off-Broadway productions, national tours such as Fiasco Theater's Into the Woods, and international productions, including a 2020 collaboration with the Sofia National Opera and Ballet in Bulgaria. And now I'm happy to be bringing my experience and perspective to the courses I'm teaching here, which include costume design, costume history, and stage makeup. We are very excited because for the first time, OU has 3 full-time faculty members representing the disciplines of scenic, costume, and lighting design. Our design and tech faculty include Jeremy Barnett, who you just met, who teaches scenic design, Caro Knox, who teaches lighting design, Krista Corner, our fabulous costume design manager, Joe Beck is our technical director, Dana Gamara teaches stage management, and Mike Duncan teaches sound design. The Design and Tech program at Oakland University is notable among other BFA programs around the country. In normal years, our department produces 5 main stage shows, and students under our mentorship have the opportunity to design them. This is exciting and incredibly rare among undergraduate design programs, where most of the time, students may graduate with only 1 realized design, if they're lucky. Not only will you have the opportunity to design a handful of shows, but the shows are completely supported by professional costume and scene shops. You will learn how to effectively communicate your vision and see that vision come to life. And now, speaking of the technical aspects of our department, I would like to turn things over to our costume shop manager, Krista.
Hey everybody, I'm Krista, and I really look forward to seeing all of you guys next year. We have some pretty amazing classes that you can take in production. We will teach you everything you need to know to go out and work as a technical production person. So I can tell you a little bit from the costume background. Tony said earlier that the theater has 5 main stage productions. Well, the technical people do a lot more than that. Not only do we tackle the theater productions, we also tackle all the dance productions, which there are 2 huge dance concerts and 1 opera production. So more opportunity for all of you guys to design and to learn how to produce scenic and how to build costumes. So dance costumes, we do a lot. I can teach you how to work with spandex. We've also done ballet production, and I know all the ins and outs of professional ballet costumes, tutus, men's tunics, all of that. So I know that we can send you out into the world with all the technical training you need to work in any of these areas. I will tell you, aside from just the coursework that you can take, once you take the courses in scenic building and costume construction and costume craft, you can also work in the shops. You can work in the scene shop and get paid. You can work in the costume shop and get paid. That's pretty cool. And you're learning a lot of stuff. You'll learn how to work wardrobe. You'll learn how to construct professionally all theater costumes, dance costumes. With that knowledge, I can tell you most of the students that graduate from our program, I would say 99.9% are all working professionally until COVID. So we have students working in some wonderful, wonderful jobs. We have students working on Broadway tours in wardrobe. We had a student working with Feld Entertainment. She was on the Marvel Heroes tour. She was touring all over the world for 2 years and loved every minute of it. We have students working in the Detroit Opera House costume shop. I have a student who is now working for Lear Corporation, making patterns for car seats. This is how you can expand. You can do just about anything with the knowledge that we give you. You can apply it to so many different applications. It's really amazing. And that's not just costumes, that's all these disciplines across the board. All the technical costume disciplines can be applied to corporate work. It's endless, really. I do want to tell you, we're very proud. We have a student that just graduated, and he was a musical theater student. He took the costume construction class. He was amazing. He took the costume design class. He was amazing. He designed 3 main stage shows. He took 2 of his designs to the KCACTF, which is a theater festival, which is a nationwide theater festival. He won the national award for excellence in costume design. Imagine that, a musical theater student. He graduated with his degree in musical theater, won the excellence in costume design award for all the universities in the United States. Freaking amazing. So anything is possible. You just have to open the doors, open the windows, and just let all the possibilities flow in. I think that's all I have to say. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Cool. Thank you, Krista. I also want to point out that Krista is an alum of the program. She came back after having another degree, got her theater degree, left, got her MFA, and came back and has been teaching with us for quite some time. And I collaborate with her on the operas, on the dances, on the music, on the theater all the time. And it's really quite a great relationship that we have. And again, I think that the collaboration is a big part that I want to point out. One last thing, as the director of the school, I'm involved in everything that goes on, and all those opportunities are open to everybody. You know, within theater, while we have 3 different majors, we still have a lot of collaboration, a lot of abilities for people to go and work in other areas. Actors are in the musicals. Musical theater majors are in the straight plays. The designers sometimes act. The actors sometimes design. I mean, we want to give you the opportunity to become a fully rounded theater major. And that goes beyond just the department to the school, where students can get involved backstage or on stage in the dance productions, in the opera productions. And we have plenty of examples of people who have, you know, made combined careers of all of that. Several musical theater students do a double major or do a dance minor, just because they're doing a lot more dance. So that we're really, you know, almost as much as the Honors College, we're giving everybody their own individual curriculum based on what their interests are and where they want to go. And with that, I want to turn things over to a design tech student, Olivia Kunkel, who's a sophomore. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about the design tech program from the student perspective.
Hi, I'm Liv Kunkel. I am a sophomore design and technology major, and the theater design and technology program is really great, especially because of the faculty that you get to work with. I myself got the opportunity last year as a freshman to work as an assistant designer on the Oakland University production of Macbeth, and it was an amazing experience to have, especially right out the gate, coming into college, not really having a lot of design experience, and getting that opportunity to work with the designer on a full main stage production and getting to collaborate and have that one-on-one teaching experience that I don't think a lot of other universities offer, especially from a freshman perspective. And then also this year, I got the same opportunity to work with Krista on our production of How to Succeed, which will hopefully get back up and running soon. And you can tell that at Oakland, the faculty really does care about seeing you succeed and watching you move forward. They really want you to gain actual real life experience. And at other schools where you'll have to compete with other grad students and really try to get in that experience that you'll need to apply to jobs with. But here it's not like that. The faculty really does want you to succeed and give you that experience. Same goes for the faculty advisors that will watch over you and help you throughout the process by helping you choose classes and making sure you're on the right track in order to graduate. I myself was originally going to be an acting student. I tried out for the program and I got waitlisted, and then Tony Guest and Jeremy Barnett came to me and said, well, what if you were a tech student? And I found out that I actually really loved the program, and here I am still, and it's great. Also, another amazing opportunity that we offer at Oakland is USITT, which is the United States Institute for Technological Theater Conference. And essentially every year we send students, sadly this year they will not be traveling due to COVID, but normally they would be sent across the country to a conference where there are different real world theater applications for jobs and master classes and seminars with people in the business right now. Many people have gotten internships there, and there are also competitions and awards available for student designers. So yeah. And yeah, so Oakland Theater Department is really great. Speaking of really great, I'm now going to introduce you to another wonderful theater faculty, Josh Young will be taking over.
All right, guys, so I'm the new musical theater coordinator of the department, and I'd like to start by talking to you guys a little bit about what makes us different and what makes us special. So you look at other programs, say IT or a business program perhaps, and a lot of those programs have a career development service where they help you build a career plan. And those topics are very in demand, and there's, I think in IT, there's over a 90% employment rate. So I thought to myself, why not in musical theater? Why don't we have a career services department where we help build a career plan? So when I came aboard, my main goal for us was to cultivate students who are not only employable when they graduate here, but actually employed. So how do you do that? Well, you create as many as many avenues as you can to make that employment happen. So we created we changed some classes up a bit, and we created a bunch of new initiatives. One new initiative that we started is called the Summer Theater Directive. We help you guys book summer work. We help you plan out how to best utilize your summers between your semesters so that you can form industry connections while strengthening your singing, acting, and dancing tool belt that we try to equip you with. This also gives you a chance to learn by watching more established actors, more polished actors, to see how they present themselves in a rehearsal process, to see how they pace themselves, to see how they present themselves after a show, backstage, when they're schmoozing with producers, because all this is very important. And the skills that you get are equally as important to making you guys good business people, because if you don't have a job, you cannot be an actor. So we really focus a lot on that. So what we do is we present you with all the summer theater options. There's conference auditions. We'll help you do your pre-screens. We'll put them on tape for you. We'll help you with your applications, and we will help you determine which is the best place for you to work. If you want to work on Broadway someday, I might say to you, well, why don't you look at the New England Theater Conference, which mostly is theaters from New England. And the reason I would say that is because I know my friends who are Broadway directors and choreographers, they like to take their summers as working vacations, and they drive over to New England. They work for some of these great summer stock theaters like Maine State Music Theater, Ogunquit Playhouse. So that's one avenue that we try to open up for you, so you make those connections towards being employed when you graduate. The next initiative that we have is our 29-hour reading initiative. Now, this is, again, another avenue to try to open up possibilities for employment when you graduate. A 29-hour reading is the Actors Equity standard for how to present brand new works. Before you guys see a show on Broadway, it is first presented as a 29-hour reading for producers, for the writers, so that they can see what they need to change, what they need to add, keys, things like that. And so they can try to get producers involved, so they can try to get money. So how do you, in 29 hours, ingratiate yourselves to that creative team and to those producers so that it's not a one-off, right? So that you don't just do this 29-hour reading and then in 10 years, you're not in Hamilton. We are gonna teach you how to ingratiate yourselves to the creative teams so that they ask you to do the next 29-hour reading and the next 29-hour reading and then the workshop and then the out-of-town tryout, so that after the out-of-town tryout, when they bring it to Broadway, they've kept you along every step of the way. And I think that's something that only we do. In addition to that, we tempt those creative artists, those writers, to come here from New York by offering them not only the 29-hour reading, but also a demo recording of their work. So when Ian is starring on Broadway in whatever show that is, it's not the first time you're getting into a recording studio. You have had that experience of working with an engineer, knowing mic technique. It won't be the first time you do that. We'll have taught you how to record an album. So that's another way. And then another avenue is that you'll meet these writers, and that could be the first step of them bringing you to the next step. In New York, if you graduate, you go to New York and they bring you to the next 29-hour reading. So that's just, again, another avenue that we try to present for you guys. We also, I told you about the demo recordings, and we have our masterclass initiative, which I think Tony talked a lot about. We try to not only connect you with those stars that we showed you, but equally as important is we bring casting directors, we bring agents, we bring talent managers, so that you make those connections and they'll be able to see you work and critique you and form a relationship and get their emails. And so when you graduate, you don't feel like you're treading water or you don't know where to go. You have connections that you can reach out to. You have people who have seen your work that you can reach out to, and connections, and this being a business person is extremely important. Along those lines of being a business person, we have an entire semester devoted to just learning how to be just the actor as a business. It's called Professional Practices, where we teach you how to be a business person and an actor and how those two can combine. And we bring in even more special guests, casting directors who are currently looking for talent and will be in the future, and hopefully they'll keep you on file. With that, now that we're talking about classes, I would like to turn it over to my colleague, Don Brewer.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Josh. So yeah, Josh really covered, I think, a lot of the things that make our musical theater program very special. And within that, I think the courses we offer go hand in hand with us developing you as professionals to go out into the workforce. And you know, I know Caro said it before and Krista said it before, but you're not limited to just doing the musicals here as a musical theater performer. We have musical theater students who are in the operas, who are in the plays, and we have acting majors. One of the acting majors I directed, Urinetown last semester, an acting major was the lead in the musical. We really give you as many opportunities as possible. And on top of that, I do some choreography at Oakland, and we want to give you the most real world experience we can. So we always have student dance captains that are in the musical that help the choreographer. We have students who do choreography work. We have swings in our musical. I don't know if any of you know what a swing is, but you will learn that while you are here. We really want to set you off into the world once you graduate working, and that is the goal. Another thing I think that makes our program pretty special is you not only get one voice technique lesson with your voice technique teacher a week, but you also get a vocal coaching session with a vocal coach. And the end goal of the vocal coaching sessions is to send you off into the world with a repertoire of musical theater pieces and your top 40 piece, your Sondheim piece, your Disney piece, to have your audition book set and ready to go for the real world. And that's on us to help you get ready with that. And we're really proud when we send our seniors off into the world that they're going to work. Speaking of a senior who I have had as a student and I now consider a colleague, we're going to have a little performance from a senior, and his name is Makai Holloway. Take it away, Makai.
I am a senior musical theater major. My name is Makai Holloway, and this program has prepared me for my future. I think that Oakland is a great school because it helps each individual student create their own path and who they want to be as an actor, an artist, a creative. We're not trying to fit a mold of making every student the same. We are presented with chances and opportunities to create your own path and be the actor that you want to be and sing songs that you want to sing. So in my coachings and voice lessons, I've been able to bring in songs like, "Hey Don, can I sing Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac?" And he's like, "Sure, go for it. Let's hear how it sounds." And that's
very good.
Pieces now in my book. So it's cool that I get to experiment and try new things because that's our whole industry, is experimenting and trying new things and making things work, you know? And I think Oakland is a great school for that model of trying new things and changing this about you, or changing this, or doing this new thing, or just trying some new things to create you as an artist. And I've had the chance to perform for amazing people in my senior year. Like on my birthday, I sang for Norm Lewis, like who was like my idol. And so that was great. I haven't had chances to like perform coming into school, which is something that most schools don't do. They kind of like your freshman year, you can't always be in shows, but I got to be in a play my freshman year and got to be in a musical my sophomore year as an understudy. So I've had so many chances and opportunities to do new things and really start my career while I'm in college. With that, I'm gonna sing for you guys now. When the wind goes a whip, 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 whipping around my floor, and the rain goes a rap, 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 rapping at my door. Give me gin to forget the sinner that I am, 'cause I'm only Satan's little lamb. Give me drums that'll start that thump, thump, thumping in my heart. Give me horns that'll blow, 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 blow the blues apart. Give me thrills that'll break the 10 Commandments with the wham. Don't you know I'm Satan's little lamb? For it's glory, glory, while I'm a living purgatory when I'm gone. What a welcome I'll be given when my soul marches on. Hidey-ho, while I'm waiting for that fatal telegram. When I go, little daisies won't be caring who I am, 'cause it's heads he wins, and it's tails that you lose when you're Satan's little coal black lamb. So, welcome up next, Professor David Graham. What? Yeah.
Big welcome to everyone for joining us here tonight. My name is David Graham, and I'm an assistant professor of theater with a specific focus in directing, acting, and dramaturgy. I also direct plays and musicals for our main stage. I just want to take a few minutes and talk to you about our BFA acting program. So the BFA acting program currently consists of 35 students. It's a 4-year training program that seeks to equip the student actor with the necessary tools they will need to succeed, not only as a well-rounded artist, but as an emerging professional about to enter the business. And clearly that's a theme tonight where this is big. It's that combination of artist and business person, because you are your own business. Our acting majors take at least one acting class or acting related class each semester throughout their 4 years here. Their core acting classes focus on their physical and vocal instrument, script analysis, crafting a role, auditions, Shakespeare, styles, dialects, and doing advanced studio work. In addition to their acting courses, students have opportunities to take courses in directing, playwriting, dramaturgy, design and production, and theater history. As important, many of our performance majors take acting the camera 1 and 2, which we're proud to say has led to a fruitful and enriching collaboration with the Cinema Studies Department, as many of our performance students have appeared in the Cinema Studies Department in student filmmaker productions, which has really been exciting to see. I mentioned before that our students have an opportunity to take directing classes. This is one of my focuses, and I'm so proud about how many projects have flourished over the last 4 years and how many students have found a voice in directing. Our directing classes offer our student directors the chance to collaborate with their peers on scenes, on 10-minute plays, and on full-length productions. Student directors are also given the opportunity to work as assistant directors and dramaturgs on both plays and musicals throughout our production season, working under the mentorship of a faculty or guest director. This is my 5th year at Oakland University, and each year I marvel at our program's growth and the talent that populates the department. I appreciate and want to recognize our students' hunger to be challenged, their drive and resilience, especially right now as we navigate what it means to be a performing artist in these unprecedented times. At this point, I want to introduce my colleague, Brandon Wright, who will speak with you about the Department of Theater's diversity and inclusivity initiatives. Brandon.
Hey, thanks, David. Hello, everybody. Good evening. And before I begin, I just want to reiterate and share David's sentiments with regards to our students and how amazing the work has been this semester, the focus and the dedication to continuing to create art despite the many, many challenges we face, technical challenges included, which is what I'm having now and why I'm on my phone. But it's good to be here with you guys and good to see you. So I just want to talk really briefly about our department's position and perspective on diversity and inclusion. We know it's on everybody's mind, and it's a conversation that we are excited to be a part of. So we want you all to know that the theater department is actively pursuing a more diverse and inclusive environment for our students. And we're doing that through a few initiatives that I'll kind of briefly introduce to you. The first is this play reading series, which we've brought into play to address not only the COVID situation, but also to bring a highlight to work that is by and about people of color. The first piece of the series that's going to be presented this week is actually student written. And so we give our students the opportunity to bring their voices into the conversation in an artistic way and express the things that they feel about the world that is around all of us. We are expanding and updating our required reading lists and our performance materials to include more BIPOC artists. Again, bringing the work of the underrepresented artists to the forefront and allowing our students to really be at this pivotal moment, right, of what it means to be an artist of color and to express work by artists of color. We have faculty members who are right now receiving training in diversity and equity and inclusion so that we stay present in that conversation, so that we are up to date on the new ways and ideas that are coming into play about bringing diversity and inclusion into the work that we do. And together as a faculty, I have to say I am so honored to be a part of a faculty that is actively and consistently discussing ideas and applying activities in the classroom and in the studio and in the rehearsal room, all things that are encouraging our faculty and our students to remain in an environment that allows us to bring our full selves to the work that we do, which is how we all do the best work, right? That we all feel free and encouraged and supported as we create together. And lastly, I just want to highlight the fact that we have a very open door policy when it comes to discussing diversity and inclusion. We encourage our students to come to us, to be a part of the conversation. There's so much for all of us to learn and so many ways for all of us to be active as we seek to, continue to progress in this initiative. So we look forward to all that will continue to unfold for us here in the department. We've got some really, really exciting work coming up, not just in this semester or in this year, but in the long term. And so we are excited to have you all join us in that work.
Thank you, Brandon. And now it's a pleasure to introduce to you third-year acting major Cassie Dunay, who will be performing an Adriana monologue from William Shakespeare's The Comedy of Errors.
I, Antiphilus, look strange in frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspect. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. Oh, the time was once when thou unurged wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never object pleasing to thine eye, that never touch well welcome to thy hand, that never meat sweet savored in thy taste, unless I spake or looked or touched or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou art then estranged from thyself? How dearly Surely would it touch thee to the quick should thou but here I were licentious, and that this body consecrate to thee by ruffian lust should be contaminate. Wouldst thou not spit at me and spurn at me and hurl the name of husband in my face and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow and from my false hand cut the wedding ring and break it with a deep divorcing vow? Oh, I know thou canst, therefore see thou do it. Oh, I am possessed with an adulterous blast. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust. For if we two be one and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep then fair league and truce with thy true bed. I live unstained, thou undishonored. Hi guys, I'm Cassie. I am a third-year acting major, and I just want to talk about my time here at OU. It's been a really amazing 2.5-ish years for me. Even with COVID and everything, the faculty have been so amazing and giving us every opportunity possible to make this year as good as they've been in the past couple years. My experience with the acting program in particular is that you can make it whatever you want to make it. And in my case, I came in thinking that I wanted to do theater, just stage plays and things like that. And then I realized that I really love film and television work through our Camera One classes. And I also found that there were a lot of opportunities to write and get that work done. So that's really amazing, where I didn't know that I liked playwriting, but then I got in, and through faculty advising and talking to some of the professors, I realized that that was something I wanted to pursue. So that's what I love about this acting major, is you literally can make it whatever you want to. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, which you can ask questions about later, is our program does this thing called ACTF. It's the American College Theater Festival, and every year through our main stage performances, the adjudicators will choose 2 performers to go and perform Irene Ryan's, which is an amazing opportunity to show your work to all these other different colleges. And there's scholarships involved if you make it to the final rounds and everything. So it's really a cool opportunity. And we also can send plays and dramaturgy and design. So that's where Matthew Carlson won his Costume Design Awards. So if you have any questions about that after, I think it's an amazing opportunity. You should go every year. Of course, this year it's canceled because of COVID, but it's going to be online. But next year, hopefully, we'll be going to Muncie, Indiana to celebrate with all the universities in Region 3 of American College Festival. And one more thing, I would like to introduce Karen Sheridan and Lene Layfeld.
My name is Karen Sheridan, and I teach acting and things related. And one of the things that we have to offer at Oakland is something called the Classical Theater Study in Greece program. It is a study abroad opportunity that comes around usually about every other year. We have gone since 2011 to the island of Hydra, and we have a picture of that if Tony wants to screen share it. We go to the island of Hydra. And this is the little town that we live in. It is Vlíchos, and it is an island without motorized vehicles. So you actually stay in a place where you have to walk places or take a boat. And it is a capstone opportunity, which means that we are counting it for credit for a capstone requirement, which is a culminating experience that you have at Oakland, and all the majors have capstone requirements. So it is part of our program if a person wanted to take it for capstone credits. The thing that's so amazing about going to Greece is that we are going to the root of Western theater, and we are working on classical Greek plays while we are there. At the end of all the coursework and rehearsals, we perform for an international audience. And it is an opportunity to explore those plays that have to do with ethical issues when things like democracy and politics were being created. in terms of Western culture. So it's an opportunity to tell those stories again to a contemporary audience who should be asking themselves the same ethical issues that they were asking each other in 400 BC. It's also an opportunity to go someplace and not have all the rigors of work and family responsibilities, but to be in a place where you can focus on doing theater. And so it's an immersive experience. So it's very exciting. It's a beautiful place to be. Last summer we went with, well, not this last summer, the summer before we went with a production of Orestes, which we began research on before we left, and some choral work and movement work. And then when we got there, we rehearsed the play and performed it for an audience in an outdoor amphitheater. So it's a great opportunity. And we started this in 2011, and we've gone every other year since then. So, so I encourage you to be interested in study abroad programs, and we also have our own in the theater department. And now I would like to introduce Lene Leifelt, who will speak to you about some of our alums.
Hi, my name is Lene Leifelt. I teach voice and movement in the department. And I've been asked just to talk a little bit about some of the performance majors and alums. I would like you to know that once you're part of the Oakland family, that family extends beyond the students that you're going to be in contact with for your 4 years here. If you go to Los Angeles, there's an Oakland family there, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, and those alumni are going to be welcoming and just as supportive as all the students that you'll meet here. Recently, we've had performers working at Huron Playhouse, Phoenix Playhouse, Fireside Playhouse, Busch Gardens, the national tour of Spamalot and Kinky Boots. We had students on cruise ships, on Disney, on Carnival, on Norwegian. A student was in rehearsal for Memphis down in North Carolina when COVID hit. But our students, as Josh was talking about earlier, part of what we think is our mandate is to help you get your first job. Once you get that job, then that'll allow you to get, you know, more employment as you go. But our students are working, and you really are part of a family here. And speaking of that family, I'd like to introduce one of our senior musical theater students, Mariah Colby, and she will be singing Blue Horizon.
Push the pedal to the floor. The U-Haul starts to fly. Bland Ohio countryside is swiftly sliding by. In the rear view I can see clouds of what we used to be. And those clouds begin to spread, but the sunrise lies ahead. Yeah, the western sky is black, but I'm never looking back, 'cause I'll keep my eyes on the road and the blue horizon. Speeding in these mountain hills, a fog drifts through my mind, distant echoes in my ears of the life I left behind, miles from everything I know, with a million miles to go. But this mist can't wash away thoughts of you and yesterday, but my mind will soon be clear, and this fog will disappear, 'cause I'll keep my eyes on the road and the blue horizon. All the roads you led me down, twists and turns you sped me through, all the detours and mistakes, all the times I hit the brakes, brought me winding back to you. Well, you stole those 7 years, blinked my eyes and they were gone. Now I'm finally finally changing gears. I'm driving out. As the skyline comes in view, a brand new city welcomes me. In this maze of glass and steel, for the first time I feel free, not a victim of my past. Now I'm moving on at last. True, I'm traveling alone, but at least my life's my own. Now mend my broken heart, and I'll make a brand new start, 'cause I'll keep my eyes on the road. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on the road. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on the road. And the blue horizon, and the blue horizon, and the blue horizon. So my name's Mariah Colby, as Lene said, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my time at OU and then also Senior Showcase. So I've spent so many hours on rehearsals and, you know, growing my craft, and something that I really love about OU is how many performance opportunities there are. From student-directed shows to main stage performances to now Zoom masterclasses, I was always busy and always enriching my craft, which is something that I really love. And then my sophomore year of college, I went on the Greece study abroad trip, which Karen talked a little bit about, and it was just amazing. Highly recommend. It was actually one of the things that drew me to Oakland, because it is such a immersive experience where you get to go to Greece and you get to study Greek theater in the place where it began. And so that was just something that I will never forget, and lifelong memories were created there. And then the last thing is Senior Showcase, and now things are a little weird with COVID. And I just want to say that the theater faculty here has put in so much work to make sure that not only are all of the students safe, but we're also comfortable, and we're continuing to grow our craft in this crazy time, which really, I think, says a lot about the faculty, that they've put in so much time and they really want to make sure that we're all comfortable and we're all safe. Shows how much our faculty cares about its students, which is something I appreciate very, very much, especially in this time. However, it kind of flipped up my senior year a little bit with COVID. The biggest thing is that Senior Showcase, which usually entails the senior class going to New York and performing a snippet of a song for a whole bunch of agents, can no longer really happen because I don't want to go to New York with COVID. So this year we're doing a virtual showcase, which basically means each senior is going to have a package of a couple of snippets of songs, maybe some monologues, some voiceover stuff, and really anything we want to put together in there to showcase ourselves best. And in many ways, it's much cooler than a showcase because I'm going to be seen by so many different agents and so many different people from Chicago, from LA, from all of these different places versus just New York. So that's really something that's incredible and has been more established and expanded our horizon in COVID even. So yeah, come to OU. And without any further ado, I'm gonna bring it back to Tony.
Hey, Mariah, thanks so much. I told you so in terms of faculty and students. That's what we're all about. So Mariah, that was just a beautiful song. It was a great way to end the program in terms of performances, to keep our eyes on the horizon, even though we're dealing with certain challenges right now. We're all devoted to moving ahead and maybe seeing you guys all in the fall, possibly.